Everyone has a story. Stories have power.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Doug. How are you?
Great to see you. Thanks for coming on Jessop's Journal.
They help us understand each other. This is Jessop's Journal.
Time to sign in the book, please. All right. So I do understand that Mr. Steve Conlin is an Easter egg in a product that you guys have manufactured for a very short run.
Everybody's on that bottle. My whole staff, all the guys in my staff, plus our friend of the company, Kelly Boyce. So yeah, the Five Husbands label is all our staff. So it's funny, we, if you're not familiar with Five Husbands product, we came out with a vodka for Pride, which featured the rainbow label. My whole staff looked like we've been on keto for a good year and a half.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, so we photoshopped our heads onto these.
Oh, you mean that wasn't your
no.
Oh, I thought,
no. Sorry to disappoint you.
No body
ladies.
doubles?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So
well.
we kind of do that with all of our stuff. We kind of put in a little things to be discovered on everything. So Five Wives vodka, which we make. There's a lot of people who've never noticed that the ladies have kittens in their bustles. And you know, we've branded our products to not only be something you hopefully notice on the shelf, but something that when you pick up you discover something too.
You kind of do a little traveling. You just actually went somewhere
I went
recently.
to Greece, yeah.
So you go to Greece a lot.
It's my third trip in the last 4 years. I've fallen in love with it, yeah.
Why?
Beach.
Okay.
It's a maritime country. It's beautiful. The people are friendly. I always tell people it's kind of really cool to be able to go to a place where you don't have to know the language. Everybody speaks English pretty much. You can certainly get by. John Saltis from the City Weekly would probably kill me, but I've gone there, 3 times and know 5 words probably. So I'm an ugly American when it comes to language.
Yeah, I know John. He would give you a hard time, but that's okay.
But I just love the culture. I love the friendliness of it. There's something gritty about it. It's just got a lot of character. And
I gravitate towards the fact that you and I are both hatters. Okay. Well, we don't make hats, but we wear hats. But I actually have made a hat once or twiise.
We're
but
hatties.
Hatties,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So I know my story, but what's your story about why hats?
I grew up wearing baseball caps all the time. I played baseball as a kid a lot, all summer. That's how I'd spend my summers. And then about the time I turned 30, I lost all my hair, and it became a winter necessity to wear hats. And so it's funny, in the summertime I rarely wear a hat, but in the winter it's every day, and it's a temperature regulation thing. And there's fashion, we're sitting here in a custom suit store, and there's a certain fashion aspect of it, and given my hate for fall and winter, maybe it's something that gives me something to play around with.
So tell me, what was your first paying job?
First paying job, Grand Marais, Minnesota. I had a paper route, and I remember getting that on my birthday, and I think it was my 13th birthday. I got this paper route, and so it was for the Duluth News Tribune, which was about 2.5-hour drive from Grand Marais, where we lived, on the North Shore Lake Superior. So every day, I'd have to go meet the Greyhound bus that would come into town at 5 in the evening from that morning's edition of the paper. So I was delivering the morning edition in the evening because it came on the bus. I'd go down there and they'd open the side and there'd be the bundles of paper, and I'd pull them out. And my dad had been kind enough to take a little red wagon and build sides up on it, out of little 1x2s. And I'd stuff them in there, and I'd walk home, and I'd bundle them all up into the plastic sleeves. And people were lucky if they got their paper by 7 in the evening, probably. But we lived in this town of like 1,300 people, and I think probably about 150 to 200 people subscribed to the newspaper. And then on Sunday mornings, it was the Sunday morning issue, and you know how people would read the Sunday paper, and they would send it up, and I think it would get there about 8, 9 o'clock on the Greyhound bus. And I'd have to go down in the morning, and again, people were lucky if they got their morning paper by noon that day. But I, through snow and everything else, be hauling that wagon, tossing paper onto people's porches. I don't even remember how long that lasted, because it was hell, you know.
Was there someone that believed in Steve Conlin before you believed in you?
You know, always your parents, I think. I hope most people have parents that believe in them. Sometimes we don't believe they believe in us, but I think my parents were very good at making me feel they were proud of me, you know, in everything, whether it was playing Little League Baseball or delivering the paper. They weren't doting parents. They were parents who jumped my stuff. Should I, you know, be lazy, or they were very good at relaying the messages that as a kid I probably would overlook, like how important it was to get somebody their newspaper by noon. And then I had a teacher, his name was Mr. Oliveras, sophomore and junior year in high school. He was the kind of teacher that he paid attention to how I learned. And so often, like the class he'd be giving a test, and at lunchtime he'd give me the test, basically an oral test version of it, because he knew I could retrieve it verbally better than I could under the pressure of a test situation. So he was able to tell that I had the knowledge, rather than put me in that test situation where at the time I didn't do very well. You know, and I had some bosses too. You know, somewhere I had a boss on one of my first jobs in college. When I asked him for a letter of recommendation, he said in there something along the lines of, Steve doesn't always know the answers, but he knows where to find them. And it stuck with me that I didn't have to know everything. I had to know where to find stuff. And there was value in not knowing everything, but knowing where to find the information. And boy, transitioning into the information age, that's, you know, that's how we all go through life now. You know, I mean, the world is at our fingertips. So I just watched a movie the other day about people teaching themselves DNA editing on YouTube, right?
Oh,
I mean, come on. If you want the information, it's out there now. You don't have to know it.
Don't say train, plane, or automobile, but how in the world did you get to Utah?
I actually was working for the IRS in Austin, Texas at the time, and I was working on a project that half of it was being done, the first half in Austin and the second half in Ogden. And when we wrapped up the first part of it, they asked me if I'd want to go and kind of assist on the team doing the second half and kind of bring them up to speed on what I had learned doing the first half. And I was supposed to be here 2 weeks. That turned into 2 years. I literally lived in hotels in Ogden for 2 years.
Wow.
Working on that project. And then at the end of that, I decided I wanted to go back to school, go back to journalism. And I went to Weber State. And then I ended up with a job at the Standard Examiner, which kept me here. And, you know, I'm still here. It's been 30 years.
Well, I met you at a pitch event talking about this particular product that you guys were doing. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Ogden's own distillery. I'm the CEO of it. We make Five Wives Vodka, Underground Herbal Spirit, Madame Patarini Gin, and Porter's Whiskeys. Yeah, we've been doing that for 10 years here in Utah. Who would have thunk?
So your parents, you know, taught you hard work.
For sure.
They loved you, obviously, you know, they were able to do it. What legacy does Steve Conlin want to leave?
You know, my mantra is pretty simple. It's like, do no harm.
Yeah, okay.
If I get out of here without hurting anybody, I've done my job. You know, it's an interesting question that I think about all the time because I don't have kids. And so you do have to think about, you know, what's your mark on the world. And I've been so focused the last 10 years on building a business that to me right now, that's my legacy. You know, I think about if I can take this business and get it to the point where at some point it's either handed off to someone and it becomes their future, or, you know, my niece inherits part of it, or I don't know. To me, life's a game. It's, you know, if everything I do right now disappeared tomorrow, I'd start the game all over again and you know, and see where it takes me.
Okay, well, with that said, raise a glass.
Cheers.
And say cheers.
Hopefully there's vodka in here after that.
Yeah, well. Thanks, Steve, again for coming on Jessop's Journal. We have lovely parting gifts from our underwriters, of course, which you are one of. So you get some of your booze basket back, you know?
Yay.
So we want to thank Ogden's own distillery for being a part of Jessop's Journal. We also have this lovely box of fun stuff.
Oh boy.
So here we go. Let's start out with Rustico. They've made you a personalized journal.
That's beautiful, thanks.
Did they get the name right?
They got it.
All right, perfect. You got to check this one out. Pop the top on that puppy.
Oh, wow.
That is a beautiful copper pen. I think
That
you'll
is
love that
lovely,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
Love nice pens.
We're here at Tailor Cooperative. They do all my suits and shirts. They're going to hook you up with a new custom made to measure shirt.
That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Gosh.
And then I've been known to wear hats, and you know, the fact you wear hats too. My my hatter, JW Custom Hats, is going to hook you up with a new custom hat.
This is great. I had no idea we'd be getting all this.
Yeah, there you
I'm
go.
so happy.
Here's the thing I want people to remember out there. Stories have power. They help us understand each other. With another entry in Jessop's Journal, I'm Doug Jessop, ABC4 News.